How are you doing, fellas? Today we have an extremely important topic that has been weighing pretty heavily on my heart for a minute now. We have a few things to discuss in this video. Number one, being a provider as a man does not hit the same, so neither does being a protector. Number two, women are just as traditional as men, but without paying, if you want to say upholding their end of the contract, of the social contract. Number three, the social contract only matters to men with no or low status. And number four, expectations of attractive, low status men. And finally, number five, should men value their own lives? So let's go ahead and start right at point number one. So I do have a video booted up here, and we're not really going to react to the video per se. We're more so going to react to the comments. So I'm sure you guys have heard about this whole protector provider thing. In this video particular, we're going to be talking about like, should you be risking your life to protect a woman off the strength of, well, you're a man, that's just your biology. Like, should we still be doing that as men? Like, what's the point of that?
I am so happy to see that a lot of men are starting to wake up and come to terms that us being told from a young age that we should go and protect a woman that's being abused or harmed by a random man in the streets, or even her man, that we should jump in to protect her. Yeah, no, I'm glad a lot of us are starting to see that that's bullshit. Because one thing that's pretty interesting to me is that, like, how did society not, like, look at the fact that if this man is psychotic enough to hit a woman out in public in front of people, that he might not be psychotic enough to actually end up taking anyone's life that tries to intervene? Like, did people just overlook the psychology of?
Okay, so that is a pretty good point. Most civilized people don't really like making scenes, you know what I mean? Unless it's like something good or something that it doesn't really matter, like you yell, why is this cup so expensive? You know what I mean? But if you're in a place, if you're pushed to a state where you're just like, F it, like, I'm just going to yell or embarrass you or hit you as a woman in public, something is wrong with you. You know what I mean? Or if something is not wrong with you, from your perspective, you have been pushed to such a point where you just can't take it anymore. And that invites a couple questions. Why is he acting like that? Why is he reacting like that? If this is a logical man, right, and he's at the point where he is like threatening you in public, verbal, arguing with you, embarrassing you, threatening you in public, what has happened to get to that point? Now, let's say he's just crazy. Let's say he's just evil, because that's the reasoning that society loves to go with when they don't really want to explore something and they just want you to like be on their side. Okay, if he's just evil, if he's just bad, why are you with him? Why are you with him? Because if you have two working eyes, I mean, you can obviously see signs. Signs are not hard to see. Don't all of y'all have like psychology degrees now? Like, what's up with that? And you're getting checked out your spot by some dude that has to put his finger on the letter when he's reading it and sound out his words. Are we being serious? So the time you've been with this dude, however long has been, okay, if it's been a couple years and you did not see the signs, you don't have the capability of seeing the signs, well, maybe, just maybe, we don't want those genes you know what I mean? Maybe we don't want those genes reproducing if like there's so many signs and like you're actively choosing to ignore the signs, but then when the poop hits the fan, now where is a strong man to come and lay his life down for me. Hey, you there, strong man. Oh, you have a family? Well, I don't care. I'm somebody's friend. What did the comment say? I'm turning up way too early in the video. I'm somebody's friend. I'm somebody's mother. Strong man. Oh, forget your daughter. Forget your sister. Forget your mom. Come lay your life for me because I choose to be with an imbecile. But we're getting too deep in. Let's go to some of these comments. I mean, I'm sure you guys read this one like 3 times and was like, what the freak, bro? But let's look at the replies, bro. Women talking about empathy. Dan said, y'all have no empathy either. I've seen a whole video where women have literally admitted that they will never feel empathy for a man, especially when he shares his sad story. So why should we when you don't? Naduru said, but let's decenter men because they are creeps. The generalization, yeah. Look, women have overplayed the emotional manipulation card and it doesn't work anymore. Empathy is feeling bad or sorry for the person going through it. I can do that. It's still completely my own business. Facts. Brad just said be quiet. Real spiel, son. Real spiel, bro. The bear will come out the woods to save the day. Don't stress. Bro was like, I just had a situation similar to this happen to me. She wasn't about to leave him. Oh, I've seen this in real life so many times, bro. She is not gonna leave him. He is going to hit her. And it's like, well, I don't want to risk my life for you. Even if, let's say, I'm not even gonna die. Why should I risk injury when you are actively choosing not to fix a problem you're capable of fixing? Well, because it provides pleasure. This right here is a ginormous reason. She wasn't about to leave him. You know why that is such an important reason? Is because it's like I've mentioned this in previous videos, my tier list. The toxic, amazing sex type of relation. It's the drug. It's the apex. Why is that, bro? Bro, oftentimes women purposely put themselves in bad positions to relate to women they look up to on social media. That is a fact. That's such a fact. Bro, hold on. Let me just find a couple of examples real quick. I swear to God. This is literally the first one. All I searched was my boyfriend cheated on me. Literally. Hold on, let me move the thing so y'all can see. My boyfriend cheated on me. Literally the first one, right? Bro. Okay. 10.6k likes. 95,000 plays, bro. 436 saves. Shaves is crazy. Me crying after I catch him cheating on me like I haven't been cheating on him too all along. Situations like this, why is this worthy of 10.6k likes? Why? Because this is a situation that a lot of women secretly desire to be in because of the social current. It's like it holds a social payout. When you're able to say, oh well, I'm in this situation, I'm in that situation. Being in this situation, it seems like has more currency than like being in a good situation. Like, there are women that get on the internet and brag about their good relationships, but they don't get the same amount of views. This one isn't even a viral one. This one isn't even like the biggest example, but look at the engagement, look at the saves, look at the like to view ratio. 95.3K views, 10.6K likes. That is an insane ratio, bro. So, okay, let's look at some comments. I hate the fact that he is too slow to catch me. That romanticizing toxicity, right? I've been cheating on him too all along. So what if this is some mentally unstable guy? By the way, if you guys are wondering what this means, this is sticker in Japanese. So we just can't see their stickers because I guess coding or something like that. I don't know. But so what if this guy is like some mentally like weird guy that has something wrong with him? And so he's gonna tee off on you at the Target on a random Wednesday at 10:57 a.m. You know what I'm saying? And I just happened to be walking by because my USB-C cord broke. I need a new USB-C to USB-C because I just checked my drawer with all my wires and I only have USB-C to traditional USB. You know what I mean? So I'm like, dang, I don't feel like going at Target, but I would have been at Target at 9 a.m. But I'm kind of thirsty. I want to go get a drink, but there's a line at the gas station. So, we get to Target at 10:55. And we just happen to be walking by and I'm like, dang, okay, I got this bill, that bill, my mom, this, my sister, this, my da da da. And I see him because on this random day, you decide to reveal to him, I don't know, some pic that you took, and he figures out that you sent the picture to some other dude. So he's about to mollywop you in the middle of the aisle, right next to the USB-C cords, which, I came here for one of those. So I gotta give up my life now? Man, I gotta give my life up now just because y'all are cheating on each other and y'all are choosing to maintain this when you as a sober-minded, able-bodied adult choose a toxic person. Bro, no, bro, I'm sorry. Like, we haven't even really got to the point yet. This may be a longer one, but I'm not going crazy on the editing. The conversation is going to do all the work that needs to be done. I can't repost. Too risky to repost, bro. You see how messy this is, bro. I'm not even, bro, my toxic account is not even on the same account as my wholesome account, bro. So I'm reposting. But when you're voluntarily being messy, because being messy is fun. That is the fun. These people have nothing to do with their lives. Real talk. They wake up, oh, how can I make myself look good? Or did he text me back? Or I should text him? Or this guy at work, or this girl at work. These people have nothing to do with their, these people are not pondering philosophy. Or if they do, bro, this stuff does not matter so much to them to where they're not going to avoid toxicity in their actual lives. But this is literally just the first example. Boom, this one is viral. 20.7 million plays. 37.6K comments. 2.6 million likes. You found out he was cheating. Billie Eilish. Caught my husband cheating on me. Bro, I would take this to the grave. Caught my husband cheating. He cheated on me, guys. Why? Let's look deeper, fellas. To a woman, to most straight women, getting cheated on is like, it's a blow to you, but in the same breath, it's an advertising of your man's social currency. Let's go deeper. He cheated on me, you guys. I have such a good husband. He cheated on me. And like, I accepted it and forgave him, because the important thing is that he doesn't catch me. See what I mean? You're advertising his social currency. You don't want to leave. You like the toxicity. So you allow it to continue. And this is the state of most thriving relationships in 2026. It is. It is. Same stuff happened to me. Why are you telling everybody your business? It's painful, but life is a lesson. Never attach on anyone or anything. Detach, and then you'll be free. Wait, who the Alright, so bro made a part 2 to his video, and the comments in this one are even more egregious, bro. They're even more egregious. Let's just look at a couple seconds.
Here's a part 2 of why men should not protect random women in the streets that's being domestically abused by her man or even a random man. So for the same women that like to get upset about this, you know, I find it interesting because these same women, if they had a son, right, and they teach their son to protect the woman no matter what that's being harmed by a man, if their son end up 6 feet under or hospitalized, God forbid, then they would feel very stupid about even teaching their son to do that. And let's say that the situation gets investigated, right, and they come to terms that the woman that was being abused did something to the child of that man or their child, whatever, right? Like, you just never know what the situation can be. Now that woman's gonna feel.
Yeah, I agree with this a lot. There are a bunch of women online telling men never do something like that. Never risk your life. Why? Because they have personally experienced a man in their life experiencing something permanent or something that affects her because he wanted to be Captain Save-A-Ho, you know? There's a bunch of them, but they're way less popular. I mean, look at what I just showed you guys. 2-point-something million likes bragging about getting cheated on, bragging about toxicity, because there's a difference. But see, here's the disheartening thing. The women that he's talking about that are like, oh, well, you know, men shouldn't do that, men shouldn't do this, they're still subject to the gender roles. So in real life, if faced with a real situation, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to go back on what they said, because again, this conditioning it's deeper than just a social construct, right? Where here's the big thing. Okay. Let me not get too ahead of myself. I know we're like 20 minutes in already. Freak. This is just going to be a long one. I'm sorry. But okay, we got to get to these points. So being a provider does not hit the same. What do I mean? Okay. It's not as hard as it used to be for the average non-experienced person to make money. It's easier than it's ever been. Anybody can get on TikTok and start making 2,000 a month. Anybody can hop on YouTube. Anybody can sell clothes. Anybody can do hair. Anybody can, you know what I mean? When before there was like, oh, well, socially women can't do this, and there was laws against this, and then the men had to gatekeep it against other men, saying, well, you have to have this certification and this license and this qualification and this and that. And so before, it was highly concentrated to where like you need to have experience, you needed to have qualifications, you need to know somebody that knew somebody. It was very status driven, you know what I mean? I would say like back in the day, it was probably a bit harder to like silently build wealth the same way you can now, you know what I mean? If that makes any sense. And so being a provider does not hit the same way it does. Any woman can be a provider. Therefore, the status of provider, it lowers. Just look at any like 20v1 video. Look at any pop the balloon to find love video. Being a protector, however, it it doesn't hit the same for men, but women still want it to hit the same because that is a benefit to him. When something happens at your job, you don't want to lose benefits. Losing benefits is a true offense, but gaining benefits is an amazing thing that we will push to the furthest extent. Don't you dare take a benefit. It's the exact same thing. So in this society change, men lost a benefit, being like, okay, we are no longer entitled to intercourse the same way. We lose certain controls, we lose certain, that's a benefit being lost, right? And so for women, it's a benefit being gained in all areas. So for one, they now, and I'm not saying like them having rights is wrong or whatever. I'm just explaining what things are. They have added benefits. Okay, they now have a bunch of rights. They have more social currency off spawn. So when a woman is born, when a girl is born, she inherently has more social currency than a man. That's just what it is. Then a boy of similar age, and this increases growing up. You know what I mean? So with that social currency also comes like, you know, protections. Protections come with that, and really, you know, like what we were talking about earlier in the video, you can, in this new day and age, with all this new power, all this new agency, you also have the agency to not freaking indulge in everything that society tells you to engage in because you're a grown, able-bodied adult. But see, here's the trick, here's the slip here. Here's the rug pull, bro. These new agencies are now like drugs. And so we have an overindulgence without properly reading the fine print of like, okay, well, now that you're free to put yourselves in these positions, we do not have to keep risking ourselves the same way because we don't have the same amount of control over you. More control for you equals less protection from us. That's how it works. That's how it works. Okay, but this is not, and this is perfectly leading into point two, where it's women are just as traditional, they inherently, but with this recent like paradigm society, not society shift, but shift in general societal morality, let's call it that. With this recent shift, they have not yet understood the added liability of the added power. You see what I mean? So like male friends, if I tell my bro once, hey, don't do that, you're gonna get hurt, brother, real talk, I might not even tell you the first time, because as my bro, I'm thinking like, for me to call you my friend, you cannot be this much of like an idiot, bro. You know what I mean? And so I'm gonna take pleasure in you learning from falling. I am. You know what I mean? Because hey, as my bro, you should not be, you know what I mean, making dumb mistakes like that. You know what I mean? There's the added liability versus if it's my girlfriend and you're about to do something dumb or hurt yourself. In my head, I'm going to be like, dang, well, you are an able-bodied, sober adult with regular capabilities and regular responsibilities. But you know what? You're a woman. Let me just save you anyway. Yeah, but that's my girlfriend though. And also before that, it would have been like, well, I could tell you, or me telling you, don't do that, you're gonna hurt yourself. It hits better if I could also be like, okay, well, I kind of want a sandwich. You know what I mean? If I'm like, okay, well, I don't feel like cleaning that up, so can you do it? You know what I mean? But if I can't be like, oh, I want a sandwich. If I can't be like, okay, well, I don't feel like cleaning this up. All right, well, Yeah, hey, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Don't let the door hit you where the, you know what I'm saying, where God split you or whatever the saying is. Um, and I think it's just this general, like, we're just, this idea that men, like, we're just supposed to be moral people. We're just supposed to be moral. Okay, like, yeah, you don't get to tell her what to do, but still, that's just being a good person. That's just having empathy. Okay, but like, you're with this guy that is hitting you on the street and he is getting away with all this due to not having empathy. You go out of your way for men that do not have empathy while simultaneously expecting empathy from men that you view as beneath you, right? And so you are still traditional. You're still traditional when it comes to your protection. You're traditional when it comes to your finances. But when it's time to have fun, anything should go, right? Point number 3. The social construct is insane. The social construct is only relevant to men with low status or no status. Okay, the pyramid. You guys are familiar with the pyramid. We talk about the pyramid all the time. I don't know if I told you guys who I got the pyramid from. I first got the pyramid from Loser Maxing on YouTube. That's a crazy thing to name yourself, but yeah, he named himself Loser Maxing on YouTube. So that is who I got this pyramid from. I don't know if he created the pyramid or if he got it from somebody else, but let's go back and reference the pyramid, bro. This system of, okay, okay, so what is a social contract? The social contract being resources for sex. Let's just boil it down to what it is. You can call it love, you can call it courting, or make up a bunch of filler words that really don't matter. It's resources for sex. Okay. Okay. Let's go into more detail though. The social contract is like, I am stronger. You are physically weaker. Normally, on average, weaker as a woman, right? So I will do the dangerous stuff and you will do the nurturing stuff. That's like the contract, you know. So I go out, hunt, make the money, bring it home. And back then, when the contract had more weight, cause why? You weren't allowed to work. So you had to honor the contract. You didn't have a choice but to honor the contract. But now you don't have to honor the contract because you can go out and work the same, right? The contract is losing its weight, but there is power. There's objective power. There's like soft power. You know, a contract, honoring a social contract is like super soft power. But she has to go. Now she has the right to go out and work. She has the ability to go out and work. But guess who she is going to work for? A man, right? She has the right to work, but owning the stuff, being at the top of the thing, the conductor of the thing, is a bit harder to do. Not impossible, just a lot harder for the average woman and man to be the, you know what I mean? And so the social contract doesn't mean anything here. It doesn't mean anything here because it's kind of like, well, if you don't, it's not, it's like okay, let me try to articulate this better. Okay, I apologize. The social contract does still matter, but it's honored more it's honored more. Okay, or let me try to synergize this. It doesn't matter because it's always honored, if that makes sense. It doesn't matter because it's always honored, right? Like when somebody has the ability to tell you you're going to work on this day, and this day. Somebody has the ability to tell you we're going to pay you this amount. You can get this raise. You can get this promotion. That's objective power, in this context. It's objective power. And so when it comes to this whole social contract, most men are here. Majority of men are workers, not supervisors. Majority of men are, employees of a company rather than owners of a company, rather than founders of a thing. Majority of men are contributing to another man's dream. Let's just call it what it is. That's what you're doing. You're contributing to another man's dream by being an employee of something you don't own, that you didn't self-start. So in the workplace, we are equal here. Now, the only way that the women need a reason when objective power is not in the picture to still honor this social contract. What would those reasons be? If you're more attractive, she has reasons to honor the social contract, because there's still that biological incentive of the halo effect, things that the halo effect brings to you as a man, right? So if you're here in status, but you're here in looks, there's still a reason for her to honor the social contract. And we're going to get into why this is worse for men than just being ugly and being invisible. There's also the point of resources, and that also goes into, why power means anything, why status mean anything. Resources. Even though resources are easy to get nowadays, generally speaking, with the prices of everything going up, it's still like the average person still has to save. The average person still cannot afford like a $2,000 emergency on a random Wednesday at 2:54 p.m. You know what I mean? And so resources, although it's easier for women to get nowadays, it still means something. It still means a lot. And so more resources, if you are, let's say, a millionaire, and let's take Drake, for example. Drake is out here buying women whole houses, whole condos, whole cars with the pink slip, because to him, to the amount of money he makes, that is like going to the dollar store. That's like going to Walmart. You know what I mean? Unless it's like a higher status woman, for example. I don't know, like let's say below a Cardi B, below a Meg Thee Stallion. I don't know, like Amber Rose, for example, or something like that. He would have to spend more on Amber Rose, and that would be more so going to like Kroger. That would be going to like Costco. You know what I mean? But just the average everyday woman that you and I are competing for, that's like going to the dollar store. That's like going to the Dollar Tree. You know what I mean? And here's where the social contract is made by and also corrupted by dudes, because at the end of the day, power corrupts, but power is the only way to get what you want. So we all strive for this thing that's ultimately going to corrupt society. But anyway, higher status men, more money, more power, they will make the average, because understand, like, there's really no difference between the genitals of Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, and your average 7 out of 10 working at Starbucks. There really is no difference in sensation. Honestly, the only differences can be changed by anybody: diet, exercising, technique, emotion, vibe, situation. But when you strip all that fluff away, strip all that away, strip off all the excess, get down to it's the same. It's the same. And so the average woman that you see literally has the same like potential energy, social currency speaking, as a Meg the Stallion. Truly, you know what I mean? And that's why like Ice Spice and Doechis come into the I'm familiar with like hip hop culture, so I use that for a lot of my references and stuff like that. So but you guys understand what I'm saying. Like Ice Spice was able to come up so quick and get a feature with like Nicki Minaj, for example, cause she's bad. She's bad, and that's all. That's the only requirement. You know what I mean? After that, is the kinetic energy. The kinetic energy is just like provided. I'm trying to be so scientifical with this, but and so with that, that's why like the expectations of the average woman, let's say financially, is so high. She's working at Starbucks, but she expects you to make more than her. She both like, okay, let's say both of you are working at Starbucks. Y'all have the same financial status, but her social status gives her an edge on you. So she will look down on you, even though you're making the same amount of money, or you're only making $1 or two more than her. Because she knows, okay, my social status provides me the ability to post a butt pic and get 300 likes, a couple DMs, 3 free dinners, half of my rent paid. You know what I mean? And so in a situation like this, I mean, shit, bro. Let go of the bro. Like the societal contract will always be a thing, but you need to satisfaction max. Unfortunately, get it where you can get it. Get your satisfaction where you can get it, because the game is rigged. The game is rigged. Why? Men spoil this. So the top 0.1, 0.5, whatever, they are exploiting the social contract, right? And this exploitation is muddying the water for men that the social contract matters more to. But this is what all men should strive to get to anyway. Because guess what? If I was here, I'm exploiting the contract. If you was there, you're exploiting the contract. And guess what? Societally, bro, this is how fucked we are. This is how cooked humans are. If you don't exploit the contract, everybody below you now looks at you weird. Isn't that insane? That's because, bro, why? Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? What are you doing? And again, this is the pressure of like nerds, and why even though you're rich, people still try to look down on nerds, is because like you have all this money. Well, what else are you doing? Are you like running like medical experiments in Africa? Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation? Are you like I don't know, running high level schemes? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing with that? But I would have to argue, fellas, embrace the nerd. You know what I mean? Like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. These are evil billionaires, bro. However, like, if they did not have the money and status and ties that they had, they would have been a regular Joe. And is their looks, is their height enough to get them even a fraction of the respect, even a fraction of the money? No, their biology is not good enough. And that's it. Their biology, for most men, your biology is simply not good enough for being a good person to be enough for you to have a fulfilling life. I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you, but that's just the truth. That's just the truth. And so to get this thing that society tells us we need a bunch of women, right? Because, and even women tell you that you need a bunch of women. Why? Brother, I have a video coming up called Attention is Like Modern Crack for Women. But in that, I'm gonna get into how women only want you if other women want you. If other women don't want you, if you are not something to brag about, if you are not something to post online, then she's just not gonna want you, brother. Like, the ideal man is like she wants a biological phenom that she can keep secret, because she knows the potential of, well, he has the potential to cheat on me with anybody. He has the potential to go viral on social, not go viral, get women through going viral on social media. He has a potential to get all this attention from women. And so that's where the value of keeping him secret comes from. But if there's no value in keeping him secret, if you could post him on social media and nobody really cares, there's no value in her keeping you secret, which in a crazy way makes her want to post you even less, because toxicity is the thing to do. It is the pastime. It is the fun. You understand? And so all this really just goes back to, well, if you know all this as a man, should you be putting your life on the line to protect the average woman? You know what I mean? Some women will word it as well, why do you need to be able to have intercourse with the woman just to protect her? I mean, it's more complicated than that. But let's play on that field with those criteria. Ultimately, you're not doing nothing for me. Unfortunately, we do live in a capitalistic. I'm sorry that it is that way, but let's not act brand new when both of us are raised on the same conditional programming of get it how you get it to survive. But here's the thing. They know this. Women are very smart. Women are extremely practical, brother. So while you're stuck on, you're going to be thinking about okay, boom, a burglar breaks into your house, right? You're thinking about, where's the gun? How can I do this? Where is so-and-so? Is this person safe? Is this person safe? You know what she's thinking of? Where she's gonna go to with the kids after you die. And y'all are gonna be thinking about that in the same moment. Where's she gonna go to with the kids after you die? Is she gonna admit this? No. But her primary default thought, survival. Yours, protection. And the maintaining of this is, it needs to stop. It needs to stop. I'm gonna be honest. It needs to stop. And I say it needs to stop, but I'm a bit of a hypocrite too. But I'm a hypocrite. Am I gonna risk my life for a random woman I see on the street and she's getting her ass beat? No, probably not. But if she's my girlfriend or something, my wife, yeah, probably. But hey, sandwich, 2 a.m. I need that. I need. But how often is a situation like that gonna happen? How often is a situation like that gonna happen to justify me consistently saying I need a sandwich at 2 a.m., which is why it looks low key as everything. Looks low key as everything. Because, hey, if you're an ugly guy, but you save her life 2 times a week, she's gonna be constantly reminded okay, he literally just saved me from being mauled by a bear or a tiger. Like, a tiger is crazy. A bear or like a dog or something yesterday. So yeah, let me make him the sandwich. But if it's like, okay, well, you haven't saved me from a lion in like 20 years, but I've been making you a sandwich every day. That don't seem right. But if you're appealing to the looks, the looks is a daily reminder. Oh, wow, you're so beautiful as a man. Let me make you this sandwich. It hit different, bro. We're not in this cutthroat society to where we can just boil it all down to primal stuff anymore. And let's get into the talk of attractive men. Cause this is a pretty important one. The expectations of attractive low status men. Now when we say attractive, I don't mean Chad. I mean that with some effort you could probably bag your average 6 woman. With enough effort you could probably bag your average. You're not ugly, you don't have extreme halo effect benefits, but you got one or two. You know what I mean? You got a couple horn effects that are working at, you know what I mean? A very, like, women aren't repelled by you. Let's say that, okay? That, when I say attractive, I mean that, right? Not Chad PSL God level, right? The average maintains the apparatus. The average maintains a hamster wheel because they experience the most push and pulls. They experience the volatility of what, dang it, I had the word. The volatile. What is the verb for being volatile? Volatile. The volatility. Dang it. The fuck. I keep losing the word. It's on the tip of my pause. They experience the volatile market so much that they have reasons. They have so many reasons. For example, you're semi-attractive, right? You risk injury to protect a woman. Okay, you're decently attractive, and so you're gonna get a higher payout from this market. All right, so what is this payout? You're probably gonna get a thank you. You're probably gonna get some praise. You might get some intercourse. You might get a new friend, right? You're gonna be paid off for, and your pay is going to depend on your level of attractiveness, really. Because let's say you are a less attractive man. Okay, same circumstances, you're just less attractive. You're probably going to get a thank you. You know what I mean? I can envision a very sincere thank you. Is she going to go as far as to probably try to include you into her life as a permanent part? Probably not, bro. Is she gonna try to give you intercourse? Well, probably not. Now, if you're a 6'3", extremely attractive, buff but not too buff, lean but not too lean, 6 figures, 6'6", got all the mark of the beast aesthetic things and stuff like that. Is she, the likelihood of you saving her life and her letting you hit, if she is extremely biologically attracted to you, is probably very high. It's probably extremely high. So very obviously not attracted to you, you save her life, good thank you. Highly attracted to you, somewhat attracted to you, you save her life, probably a more sincere thank you with some extra things, maybe a picture, maybe a number, you know what I mean? And so, but the dark side of this is that you're still going to experience rug pulls as a attractive low status man, because why? You have no actual power. you are low status. And so you're kind of relying off of the halo effect and things like that. And so when it comes to risk of your life being taken away, you're still gonna be required no speech impediment. No speech impediment. You are still going to be required to lay your life on the line versus and this is why I say like this is why I use the word doesn't matter, and then I had to use the word doesn't matter so much that it's always honored. But ultimately, bro, if you're up here, your life is too valuable to risk. And so socially, higher status men, higher valued men, aside from attractiveness, when your life is actually worth a lot of dollar signs, it's going to be more socially accepted and expected for you to call security, for you to call the police, for you to essentially not lay your life on the line because your life actually means something outside of visual appeal. You understand what I mean? And so this push and pull, like, hey, like this chivalry, you know, the blue pill stuff for more attractive, let's say physically, you know, face, haircut, all that, they are more susceptible to blue pill ideology because it works for them sometimes, you know what I mean? And ultimately this all comes down to like satisfaction, Mag. Like, do what works for you, bro. You know, like let's get into the conclusion here. Should men value their own lives? I'm gonna give you guys my personal opinion. Obviously the answer is yes. I think as humans we have endless capability in endless areas. People build cathedrals, people build hospitals, even though hospitals are predatory in nature, but we're not here to talk about that right now. People build hospitals, people build institutions that help people, people build giant products, people make art that change culture, change the mass consciousness, that guides society. You can do all of this as a human, or you can give your life up for intercourse, you know, or you can throw away all of the money earning possibility you have, the possibility to change the world, the possibility to have endless power. You can throw all that away because of a girl that is probably texting 3 other guys, because of a girl that is addicted to her ex that beats her. And so, you know, I'm trying to come up with a counter argument. Like, I guess empathy is good, I guess, but like, why are we let me just be real basic with this. Why are you saving a bunch of people that don't like you? You know, like I was watching this video and this guy was like, a lot of women are like filing, like suing men that save them for harassment. So like, he just saved your life. He just saved your life, and you are going to be like, you're the opportunistic nature, because I tell you, like, it all comes back to survival. You saved her, she needs money. This is blowing up on social media. There's gonna be people in her ear that's going to like, the life of a modern woman is literally just plagued with like endless temptation, endless temptation, endless people of both genders in your ear trying to get something from you. And so as a man, a modern man, that a liability means something, you know. You work hard, this paycheck means something. This money means something. I'm not going to spend it on nails that last a flipping week. You know what I mean? Even like that's outside of how much you make. It doesn't matter if you're making 300K a year. It doesn't matter if you're spending $200 on an aesthetic thing that lasts a week or 2 weeks or less, or that does nothing, or that actively handicaps her because she can't use her phone properly. She can't pick this up properly. It does nothing outside of aesthetic satisfaction. Bruh, you're still stupid. You're still dumb. It doesn't matter how much you're making. You're still dumb. It doesn't matter if you're going to the dollar store. Why are you going to the dollar store so often? Regardless of how much your check is. You see what I mean? So yes, I'm gonna wrap this one up here. Should you risk your life? Should you? No, we're in a modern age, bro. She can get a gun. She can just not go there. She can just have basic survival instincts, right? And personally, I'm more inclined to risk my life for my stuff. I will risk my life for my laptop. Yes, this is my laptop. I worked hard to get this laptop. This laptop belongs, keyword, this laptop belongs to me. Okay, am I gonna go and personally, I don't really like the idea of like military and stuff unless I'm running the country. Obviously, we're all hypocrites. This is human nature. It is okay to admit this, but I do not run a country. So right now, I morally disagree with the idea of giving your life up for a country because I don't own the country. Do you get it? Do you get it? It's hypocritical. Yes. That's how you are a hypocrite. You are. I am. We, us. So no, I ain't doing that, shorty. What? Are you gonna get up and make me that sandwich at 2:15 a.m.? 64 degrees Fahrenheit inside, slight breeze coming from the left. Well, anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. This one is not gonna get any views, bro. I just know it. But it's okay, bro. We do these things because it just needs to be said. It just needs to be said. Like, I'm sorry. Too many men are experiencing this for it not to be said. And I don't see anybody saying it the way that I'm saying it. This is why my presence is necessary. Goodbye.